Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Underhood Show presented by Mel Hambelton Ford. My name is Phil Nightingale. Good morning, Josh.
Good morning.
It's a beautiful day out there, isn't
Yes, it is.
Can't believe it's June already, but it is what it is. Hey, everybody, this is a call-in show, 316-462-3673. Anything ailing your car, tires, brakes, batteries, whatever it might be, anything in the automobile world, whatever you want to talk about, and you get a great price package valued over $130 for each and every caller. Only show I know you get paid to call in on. Josh, as always, what's in that package?
So we're going to mail it out to you, but it's going to consist of the works, which is an oil change and tire rotation. We use Motorcraft oil and filter products here at Mel Hambelton Ford. While we're performing that, we're also going to complete a multi-point inspection on that vehicle, making sure that it's ready to go for that next 5,000 miles of driving. Check over the brakes, tires, steering, suspension, all the safety-related components on the vehicle. You'll also get $10 to Mel's Diner, so you can get yourself something to eat and drink while you're here with us at the Big Corner. Complete nitrogen for your tires, so you get all the great benefits that nitrogen has to offer, as well as a BG products package, which is going to consist of a can of MOA or motor oil additive for your engine oil, and then a can of CF5 for your fuel system. Again, just getting that vehicle geared up and ready to go for that next 5,000 miles of driving.
All right, let's get the phones. We're getting 316-462-3673. Love to answer your questions, give you this great price package, and who knows, might even diagnosis out of the situation also, too, you know. Anyway, Josh, you went to a wedding last weekend, and
it's been a couple of weeks since we've been together here. So
it has been. I was gone the week before that, and stuff too. But last weekend we were out bar to bar and had Jeff and Kevin and Scott and all those guys on. Of course, Bruce Richardson from Bar to Bar was on the show with me. Had a great show. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
learned a lot about motocross that I did not know a lot about too. But you know what? I need four wheels. I'm not.
I don't know. I like to ski, snow ski.
Oh yeah.
And years ago, the way I skied then versus the way I ski now, I got to ski. I got to ski like I got to go to work on Monday now. But I just envision the motocross kind of being the same thing. And not to say that I guess I'm getting older or old, but
it just hurts a little more. And it hurts a little longer.
It looks like a lot of fun, and I just know that getting on one of those things, every lap I'd want to go a little faster and a little faster and a little faster, and then inevitably
something's going to break.
And it would be me, not the bike.
Yes. So anyway, had a good time with the guys out of Bar to Bar, and excited for different things we have going on out there at Bar to Bar this year throughout the season and stuff too. So anyway, Josh, we've got a great event coming up this Friday.
Yeah, we do.
Out of Kansas International Dragway. It's our second annual Beat the Heat. And some new exciting stuff is last year, getting started, getting ready to go. I get some of the fears and all the different things and stuff. And of course, we're racing the quarter mile. Mm-hmm. And we got this idea. Nick Roberts was in Denver and saw this event go down out there. They've been doing it for 19 years.
Oh, wow.
And they do it as a weekly event.
Really?
That's how good it is for them and everything else too. So we're growing it into something bigger and better each and every year we do it. It's our second annual. And last year, the city manager would only let them do 3 rounds of races.
Yeah.
This year, 10. So
it's an improvement.
Yes, it is. And Officer Paul Cruz is going to have a little different game on this year. Too. So just get ready for that too. We went out and cut a spot yesterday out of Kansas International Dragway for the event next Friday. And we got kind of prepared and got Officer Cruz's. Got him a little bit better behind the wheel of the car, and it's going to be interesting what he does. But all these other guys will be out there too and stuff from that part. We're going to have the sheriff's department is also going to be there.
Yeah.
We've invited all the local community police departments to come out and join in. And if you don't want to race, just bring your cars and come out. And it's a great community involvement. So many fun things that go on there and stuff too. But so 10 races from the Wichita Police Department. Not sure what the state, what the sheriff's department's going to do. But as you all know, no one knows how to throw a party or an event like Mel Hambelton Ford. They still have all kinds of prizes and gifts and giveaways and stuff like that too. So all you got to do is come over to our race trailer and register up, and then we'll start drawing names of who's going to be the lucky ones to try to beat the heat.
You know, I was involved in the drawing side of that last year with the group of officers around, and it was always, I'd draw a name and then call them up on the phone. And the very first thing they want to know is, hey, what are you racing? What do you got from that side of things? And then after they found out what they got, then it was a matter of, okay, well, now who's going to race him? So, but very, very interesting. I think there was a Mini Cooper. I remember one of them, and the guy's like, "Oh, I think I can take a Mini Cooper," and he pulls up there, and it's the turbo version and everything like that. And so, be deceiving, or could be deceiving out there for sure.
Yeah. So hey, good morning, Delbert. Good morning, Kevin. Thanks for joining the show in. But yeah, next Friday night, gates open at 6:00. Racing will start at 7. And yes, last year we had a little bit of a gate issue getting in, but we've worked on that. We've got some huge improvements there on that part to get everybody in and get going. So it's going to be a lot better situation. But you don't want to miss the second annual Beat the Heat out of Kansas International Dragway this Friday coming up. And it's going to be a hoot. It's going to be fun. It's going to be exciting and everything else too, to see if maybe this, because last year, I hate to say, but
everybody lost.
Everybody,
on the police side of it,
they all lost. Yeah. So. But anyway, there's an exciting thing that Officer Paul Cruz has got a little hot rod, so it might be interesting this time around. From that part,
that's what you call a ringer, is what.
That's kind of what that is. So anyway, yesterday, like I said, we went out there and we cut the spot and stuff, and then we got Officer Cruz behind the wheel and the hot rod and everything else like that, and let him go down the track, give him some pointers and stuff. So it'll be interesting to see if anybody can beat him.
There we go.
Guess me to see who gets the draw and all that kind of stuff too.
Yeah.
But anyway, if you don't want to race, don't want to be that, you want to come out and have a great event, spectators, come on out. It's going to be a fun time. The other thing we're going to have, Josh, is we're going to take one of our golf carts out there, and they're going to stick off a 25-yard area, I think is what they said. And they're going to put the drunk goggles on you.
Oh,
so it can act like what you feel like when you're impaired to drive.
Yeah.
So we're going to have that out there too. So I hate to tell you, knock on wood.
Yeah.
I think I know what that's like. I shouldn't say that, but
yeah.
Anyway, so it's going to be fun out there. So come out to there's all kinds of stuff going on out there, but it's not just Race the Police. All the other convention guys out there racing. Some beautiful hot rods will be out there and stuff too. But don't want to miss out. Get over to our tent, get registered up, and make it happen.
Yeah, that's going to be a very fun event for sure. So
yeah, so don't miss the Beat the Heat second annual event next Friday. Gates open at 6. Races starting at 7. And I think you're going to have all kinds of food trucks and stuff like that out there too. So it'll be fun time at Kansas International Dragway next Friday. Okay, Josh, what's next on our agenda here to discuss? Gilbert Alt, don't forget to promote the car rentals. Yes, that's the other thing is that's big,
especially this time of year for sure.
Yeah, I went out. I finally broke down and bought some more cars to put in there and in our rental fleet, because normally we got about 150, and I think, Josh, what are we down to? I think we're down to 70. I think because of the situation and stuff too, and it's just the crazy time that we're in with the automobiles and stuff like that too. But Ford was here this week and talked to me about different things and stuff that's coming. And the chip thing isn't getting much better. It's going to be a little while before it does get better and everything else from that part. We just got to bear with it and keep digging as best we can and take care of everybody as best we can. And, I get it. There's a lot of customers that want their vehicles and can't get them. And I've talked to a lot of them myself this week. Trust me, I want you to have your vehicles, but I just can't just go get them. I've got vehicles stuck in Michigan. I've got vehicles stuck in Kansas City, and I have begged and begged and begged for me just to go get them. They won't let us.
Yeah.
I'm sure they're worried about the liability side of it, all that kind of different things and stuff too. Who knows all the legalities that goes into picking those cars up where they're at and that sort of thing too. But it is a crazy time in the automobile world.
That it is, and I think so. I'm not as up, I guess, on the sales side of things, but I really do feel from talking from, like people in the industry and other manufacturers from that side of things, on the parts side of things, I really feel like Ford is, we're struggling on parts, but I really do feel like we're a lot better off than a lot of other manufacturers. I mean, I've got guys in other manufacturers that are having a hard time just getting maintenance items, wiper blades, brake pads, stuff like that. And there are a few, very, very few instances, oil filters, to not get an oil filter of your manufacturer, that's saying a lot, and there are very few instances where those maintenance related items that we run into that there's a low shortage on, but then it seems like it's pretty quickly resolved once we get to that spot. So
you just got to think about the world of the manufacturing was shut down. Say it was a year or whatever. Now to go back and know that we were using some of those products, but some of them weren't, against that part. But just to try to get ramped back up again and get things going and try to get the supply chain back full again.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a huge, when we say trickle down effect, it's a huge trickle down effect of what this has done and everything else too from that part to get these vehicles and stuff, and things are just taking longer than I expected.
Yeah.
Put it that way.
Longer than normal for sure.
Exactly. So, hey, we got a caller coming in the show here. 316-462-3673. Hey, anything ailing your car, tires, brakes, batteries, anything in the automobile world you want to talk about, you get a great price package, about over $130 for each and every caller. And basically, like Josh always says, it's just to get your vehicle tuned up and ready to go for the next 5,000 miles. We used to do that every 200. Now we're doing it every 5,000.
Yeah.
So, isn't that something? So anyway, we'll get Dick on the phone here in just a minute. But anyway, let's get the phones ringing. 316-462-3673. Love to hear from you, and love to give away the great price package and everything else that we do here for each and every caller. And coming through yet?
Not quite yet, but we'll get him patched through here. Now he's on. Dick, you're on live with Under the Hood. Go ahead. Good morning. Okay. So I do believe that you're onto something with the anti-theft portion of that. And so with that light on solid, so basically it will start, but then turns right around and dies. Is that correct?
Is that the gauge, the fuel gauge, never activates when you turn the key on. I'm guessing, I mean, we really don't hear a fuel pump, but I don't know if we'd be able to hear that or not.
Yeah, so that that anti-theft, it does deactivate the fuel and the ignition on that thing. So basically, there's in that vehicle, there's a little pellet transceiver in the ignition cylinder of the vehicle, and then there's also one on the housing.
And when those two align, they have to read the same values, and then it sends the signal down to the BCM and says, hey, everything is in agreement here. You're good to go ahead and start the car. And so is this something that kind of happened over time? Like it would
Actually, it happened overnight.
Yeah, just all of a sudden quit.
Yeah, and then so she knew that the key tumbler was loose, and that's where the key, you're talking about the key and the tumbler has to match up.
Yeah.
And so we replaced that with a new one, and that did not make any difference. So then I dropped the BCM from under the glove box, and maybe I should have told you this at the beginning, but water starts dripping out of the BCM. So I don't think that's a good sign for electronics.
Yeah.
And so we're guessing that what happened was after that torrential rain on Tuesday, some water leaked into that area and
got it wet. Yeah.
Probably killed the BCM.
So a couple of things. Yeah, obviously any type of water out of an electronic is not a good thing. But then the other thing, if you replace the ignition cylinder, lock cylinder, after you do that, it actually has to be the security system has to be reprogrammed because there may be a different value in that new cylinder than what the BCM would be looking for. And so what we're going to do, we're going to throw a diagnostic onto your package. We'll take a look at that thing at no charge to you and figure out exactly what's going on with it. Hopefully, it's a matter of reprogramming or doing a theft learn on it. But then also we need to address the water in the BCM. So
when you address the water, we really need to figure out how it got to the BCM,
how the water got there. So
yeah, but I'm sure he's going to need a BCM for sure, and then a reprogram with that key to match the new cylinder to match to the BCM.
But when you
out of curiosity, if I got a BCM, a working BCM from the salvage yard, and the BCM was the issue, would the car at least start without reprogramming the BCM?
No.
Right now it won't start.
Yeah, the odds of finding one that would be the same configuration as what you have, and by configuration I mean the theft deterrent side of it, having all the same parameters in both BCMs would be very, very slim. So I would say no, that it would not work without being programmed, and then again the theft deterrent side of it being programmed as well. So, but like Phil said, we need to address the theft deterrent, the water in the BCM, but then also where the water came from, because it shouldn't, regardless of how much rain, shouldn't be getting into it. So
yeah, I didn't think that was a good idea. So like if we could get it towed, could we drop it off at the dealership like today?
Sure. Yeah, get it up here and we'll get it in and take a look at it and see what's going on with it, for sure.
Love to help you and get that thing moving for you again.
So, all right.
I know, right? I really appreciate you taking our call here, and we'll see about getting it over there.
Get her towed over here and we'll get a look at it for you and see what we figure out for you, buddy. Okay.
All right then.
Hey,
thanks, Phil.
Thank you,
Josh.
Dick. You bet.
Have a good rest of the day. Thanks.
Bye-bye. Okay, a little technical difficulty. We got it all worked out there, didn't
Yeah, I
we?
think.
So let's,
Sorry about that. You were unable to hear the.
I mean,
the
Josh,
caller
why are you
there
not
for
getting
just a
these
little bit.
settings?
Yeah, I don't
changed
know. I just. Yeah, I got to double
I
check
think
my
I
double
think
check my work from time to time here.
I
So.
think that last Saturday when I set up over out there, I must have done something, but I never had a caller last Saturday. This is why
Well,
we never
yeah. So that's
probably
yeah.
why when we were out there at bar to bar and everything else too. I had a little technical difficulty there too last Saturday getting things set up. I was getting a little worried I was going to be. I had Bruce out there announcing we were going to be on the air and all that kind of stuff, and I wasn't getting on the air. So,
well, let's go back to the phones. Let's talk to Jason. Jason, apologize about the hold, but good morning. You're live with Under the Hood. Go ahead.
Hey, good morning, guys. Thanks for taking my call. So, quick question. I have a 2015 Ford F-150, and when I go to lock it, it has automatic locks. Only 3 of the doors will lock, and the back door will not lock. What would be causing that?
well, about the best thing most common thing would be the actual actuator in the door is what I think is probably not is malfunctioning and stuff. But if you use any other switch in the truck, will it lock, or is it won't lock if any switch or any of the remotes or anything?
Yeah, when you use the inside of the truck, it won't lock. When I use the fob, it won't lock. It'll lock the 3 other doors, so it just won't lock that one back door.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the actuator is probably bad, or it could be that the connection come loose or something like that, or a broken wire. We do see, where the wires go through the doors, and you open your door so many times it can break a wire there too. But I'll say 95% it's going to be that actuator inside the door that's malfunctioning and stuff too from that part. But I'd love to take a look at it for you, and just like the previous caller, got a free diagnostic out of it. We'd love to throw a free diagnostic on you too, and bring that truck in. We'll take a look at it at no charge and see what's going on. But I would almost bank on you're going to need an actuator in that door.
So is that an easy fix for you guys to do?
It's not too bad at all.
Yeah, actuator. Yeah, it's not too terrible. I mean, you got to pull the door panel off and be able to get in there and everything. But yeah, for the most part, it's pretty simple repair in the big scheme of things of what we do around here, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. So,
all right, guys, I appreciate you taking my call, and I'll get that into you. Let you guys look at it.
all right, give us a call, Jason. We'll take care of you, buddy. Okay.
I appreciate it. Thank you, guys. Have a good weekend.
Hey, you too. Okay, got a few more callers coming in here. Let's get Denny coming through here just a second. And good morning, Jim Petty. How you doing? Delbert Alt, of course, is always on here coming through. Greg Murray, how are you doing this morning? So, everybody, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. And let's go to the phones and talk to Denny.
Hey, good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Hey, I have a question about a 2006 Ford Explorer that has about 172,000 miles on it, but it is starting to shift hard or kind of rather jerky. Okay. And it goes ahead and shifts, but it's like it's having a hard time shifting when it should. And I'm looking in there and I don't even see, is that a sealed unit? I don't even see a place to check the transmission fluid or any suggestions on what I do.
So first of all, there is a place to check the fluid. It's actually just on the side of the transmission. Why the manufacturers and I mean, I know I'm sure it's probably expense. Ford's not the only one that's done that, but in some scenarios, there is no dipstick on it as far as under the hood, but there is an actual place to check it under the vehicle. At the side of the transmission, there's a little plug. In some cases they bolt in, and in some cases you even have to have a tool to stick down in there to measure the transmission fluid. So I don't know if it's in that specific model, if it was just a space thing or cost savings or whatever from that side. But yeah, there is a way to check that transmission fluid. That would obviously be the very first place that you would want to start, is by checking that transmission fluid for sure. And then from there, there's a lot of different things that are going to affect the shifting of the vehicle, shift solenoids, condition of fluids, things like that we would need to look at. So
let's put a diagnostic on Denny's package too, where Denny will look at that Explorer for you and run some diagnostic through it. Check that fluid, of course, for sure for you. I know it's probably a pain for you to get underneath there and check that fluid and stuff,
Yeah.
but we'll gladly check it and make sure that's what it is. Hope that's all it is. Maybe it's a little low on fluid from that part. But then if it's not, then we can run some diagnostics for you, Danny, and kind of tell you what we think's going on, whether we got a shift cylinder happening there a little bit or from that part or just what we kind of need. But we'll throw a diagnostic on there at no charge, Denny.
All right. Hey, thanks much, you guys. I really appreciate it.
All right, Danny, we'll get that package out to you and we'll get you scheduled in here, okay?
All right. Thank you now. Bye.
Hey, thank you. All right, got another caller coming through. This is
Dude,
kind of nice.
yeah.
Anyway, let's get Jordan coming through here in just a minute. Goose Lizzie, good morning. Julie Arnold, good morning. Got a few watchers on here this morning stuff too, so thanks for watching. Listen, let's get the phones ringing. We got them ringing pretty good so far. 316-462-3673. And love to hear from you. Love to hear your questions. Love to hear anything happen in your car. Or if you want to talk about new products, we got a couple things to talk about here too. Josh, we get a break here on some new stuff from Ford that's coming. So kind of exciting stuff too. So let's go to the phones and not quite yet, but they're coming.
Getting close.
It says Jordan. I kind of wonder if this is the Jordan.
It could be an alias too.
Yeah, could be. You know, he likes to go out and make all these names and rename people. You know that?
Really?
Jordan? Oh, yes, he does.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And I was thinking, I was driving home last night, and Jake and I were talking about the races, and we started talking about different things and stuff like that. We brought up one of the George's little funny names he makes up and stuff like that. And all of a sudden it dawned on me, has anyone give Jordan a name yet?
I think he hung up. He doesn't want to.
Maybe since he heard what I was talking about, he got a little nervous, got a little scared. Is that what happened to him?
I don't know. We'll see.
Maybe it's not the same Jordan, but I bet it is. Something tells me that is the Jordan Whitehead. So, well, anyway, while we're waiting on Jordan, a couple of things coming through. Bronco. I mean, yeah, I'm going to talk about that too. Bronco stuff too. But our Lightning F-150 is in shipping. I'm going to say, I doubt we'll see it next week just because how hard shipping is right now and what we're fighting and stuff. But within 2 weeks, we'll have our first Lightning F-150. And I encourage everyone to come down and drive it. It's in our loaner program. It's going to stay in there for a very long time.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the first Bronco we got in the loaner program. It's still here for people to come in and test drive and do different things. Same thing with the Lightning. It's going to stay in here for quite a while. So I encourage you all to come experiment with this truck, have fun with it, and just check out what it's going to be. Now, it is the entry-level truck called the Pro. And so it's got the standard battery, not the extended length battery or anything else like that. So it's not going to have the highest horsepower and torque of the extended range and everything else like that too. But it is still cool to go drive and check it out and stuff too. So I encourage you all to come and check out the new Lightning within, I'll say 10 to 14 days. It'll be here on the lot is the best guess that I can tell you and that sort of thing. Of course, we'll watch our Facebook page for that too, because we'll have it out there and that sort of stuff too when it gets here. But that's what it's here for. It's for everybody to come and take it for a test drive and experience the all-electric F-150 called the Lightning. So,
I think the biggest thing for me in that all-electric deal, and so we have a Transit, a couple of them
two
here,
of them,
now, and I've drove those around, but just there's something to be said about just popping the hood and there's nothing there. Like,
kind of weird, isn't it?
It's how does it move? Well, it's magic.
Yeah. Well, this E-Transit, my experience so far with, I've drove it one time and I had to go to Colwich, and I got in it and the range said 104 miles.
Yeah.
Now I should have figured out exactly how far it is from here to Colwich, but I'm going to guess it's 18 miles.
I'm going to tell you can make it in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah, okay. Okay. So it's 10 miles, right,
Yeah,
Josh?
no, it's not.
Anyway, so I drove there.
It's 30 miles from door to door for me, and Colwich is just a little over halfway from the Haven side. So I'm going to say you're
13.
about 12, 13 miles from here to Colwich.
So let's say I drove it 30 miles. And when I pulled in back into the dealership, my range was at 92. So I burned up 12 miles to the gallon. 12 miles to the gallon. 12 miles of electric. Got to spit that out correctly. So what's happening there is as you brake, it has regeneration in those brakes and it charges that battery back up. And let me tell you, you can set that to different settings and stuff too, at how it does brake and everything else too. But if you get good at what you're doing, you can keep that range a long ways. The other day, I gave it to a customer to borrow, and they said, "Oh, this isn't going to work. It's only got 100." And I think it was still new and everything else. Like this was the second one. This isn't going to work for me. It's only 104 miles. I said, I got to go further than that. Da, 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 da. I said, just take it and try it. Just see what happens. So I don't know the exact miles he drove or whatever, but rolled back in with 50. So that regeneration of that thing is incredible. And when I drove the Mach-E's, I don't remember it being that drastic as it is with the Transit van. So I think there's got to be some improvements, but I think there's a whole different, I gotta say, powertrain underneath that Transit from that part. But that braking thing, when you let off the brake, I mean, it's boy, you can sure feel the breakdown or how it's shoving you down and what's generating them.
Almost like a one pedal driving from that point of it. You know, you're hardly on the brakes because as soon as you let off the gas, it's really
so if you want to come check out the E-Transit, it's here to drive too. We've got 2 of them right now. We got them in our parts department, using them all over town, running around doing different things with them stuff too. So if you want to come drive the E-Transit, but again, the F-150 Lightning will be here within 2 weeks is what I'm going to guess, because I checked on it yesterday and it's in shipping and it's coming out of Michigan is where it's coming out of. Can't wait to get that thing here to have some fun with it.
It's almost a challenge to those guys to see who can get the best duration out of one of those transits over there for sure. But it's they're able to use their whole day. The guy that stays local and runs around here in town and stuff, he's able to use his whole day in it and get back to the store and get it up and recharged and ready to go for the next day. So
Delbert, the first one coming in is white. It's a white Lightning's. We didn't even get the choice to do anything. Ford just said, here's what you're getting, and sent it to us. So
how many of those total you think we'll get on those courtesy ones?
The courtesy one, just one.
Oh, okay.
Just one. And then the other number we have is 3, what we got for the first go around of the Lightnings. I'm hoping that we get these first three by the reservation number and get the rest of them coming through the loop, and that they're going to start building the 23s pretty early, I think, from that standpoint too. So you can see that. But anyway, it's going to be fun. Come out and check out the E-Transit. Again, we got the Maverick still set in here that you can come out and test drive. It's a hybrid. And we still got the full-size Bronco here, too, that you can come out and test drive that, too, to come have some fun with that. From that part, it's a lot of exciting things here to come and test drive and have fun with. And I encourage anybody that wants to come out and take the E-Transit, take the Lightning, take the Mach-E, the hybrid Maverick. And it's amazing how much mileage you can get out of that Maverick. The first time I drove it, the thing had 18 miles on it. And me and Lisa took it to a lunch deal down Kellogg, came back, rolled in, pulled into the dealership, was 41 miles to the gallon. Now, Jake, my son, took that thing and he did everything he could to get it. I don't remember the exact number, but he got over 60 miles to the gallon driving it to his house in Mays and back. Kind of crazy. Okay, I think we got a caller coming in over here.
Good morning. You're on live with Under the Hood. Go ahead.
What's up, guys? How we doing today?
Hey, good. Were you listening to the show just about 2 minutes ago?
No, I was waiting on a hold with your girls up front so I could be on the show. Be the show.
Be the show. Okay, so this is something, last night Jake and I were driving home from the race. We're talking about racing and all that kind of stuff, and I don't know why your name popped up, but it did. And we talk about how you get all these nicknames for everybody.
Yeah.
Yep. But what I'm wondering, what is your nickname?
I've had several over the years.
I don't think he gets to decide.
I've had several over the years, but most notably, they call me the show pony.
Oh, no. Jordan.
The show pony.
Show pony.
Because I'm a little bit of a show pony.
I think Josh is correct, though. Someone else has to pick your name. You can't pick your own name, dude.
That's a good point. If you guys give me one, I'll go with it. I mean, as long as it's nice.
If it's nice.
If it's what I want to be. Oh.
But yeah, I've always nicknamed people, and so is my dad. I got that from my dad, believe it or not. Yeah, I don't really know where it came from, but it's just something I've always done. It's true.
Yeah, well, so like I said, we were wondering what was going on there, or what is your name that someone's given you? That's kind of where we were kind of rolling down the road, wanting to know. Show pony.
Yeah, I don't. No one's really given me a nickname. When I raced, they always called me 8Dub, but that was just a play on my number because my number was 8W. So not even. Or that's the closest thing I've ever had to a nickname is they called me 8Dub, but that's not even really that creative. That was just my number, 8W.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I think we're going to
go.
I think we're going to go to work on a new nickname.
I like that. As long as run it past me. Let me. I'm going to need to vet it.
No. I don't think that's how we're going to run it past you. Get your approval. Nah.
I mean, like your nickname, the Ham Slamwich. I don't know how I came up with that. I just seen you and I'm like, that's the Ham Slamwich. So.
You're kind of funny. So what's happened this morning, buddy?
Not much. I just wanted to tell you guys a little insight, for your show here. So I drive a Ford with the 5.4 Triton gas motor. And as many people that have that know that, you're constantly, it's a really good motor, but you're constantly changing coil packs on that thing. And it's something I've struggled with. Well, I called Josh earlier or a couple weeks ago and said, hey, I'm tired of changing these things out all the time. And he said, well, the aftermarket ones don't always interface with the ECM, and that's why you keep popping them. Spend the extra money and put Motocrafts in it, and it'll fix it for good. And so that's what I did, and it truly has seemed to do that. It runs better, runs smoother, and I haven't had any issues. So I think that the take here is sometimes it's better to spend the money and get the right part and just fix it once right, and instead of continually putting aftermarket parts in it that don't necessarily interface or link up.
Yeah, you're exactly correct on that. You get what you pay for from that standpoint. But again, with all these electronics and stuff out there to work together with the computers and all the modules and things that are going on, it's another example I had with a customer calling me because he was getting some error codes coming up on his dash of the truck of some of the blind spot monitorings and all that kind of thing. And he lived out of town. It's going to take a couple of days to get here to me. And finally got it here. But on the way here, all of a sudden, his AC quit working. His radio quit working. The cruise control quit working. And what it boiled down to is he had cracked his taillight. It set out on all those rains, and it filled that taillight full of water. That taillight was shorted out because that's where the blind spot monitoring and all that stuff's in there. Then that started shutting down all those other modules because they just didn't know how to communicate and do all that kind of thing. And that's where it's going to get tougher and tougher with the aftermarket world trying to keep up with some of these parts, is being able to talk to all these computers and do all those things like that from that standpoint. And it drives me crazy to hear these ads out there to come in and let's read your code and we'll sell you a part for what that code describes from that part. But again, quality parts is right, Jordan. I'd hate to guess how many of those other coil packs you put on. And you could have put one on and went down the road and been fine.
Yeah, it's a bunch. And like I said, when Josh told me that, he said that they learned that in a class. So there was a Ford class or somewhere. He said, or maybe it was an email or something. But basically, it said that those aftermarket ones don't always interface with the ECM, with the computer, and so they don't work essentially. And I'm like, what? Then why is it on their shelf? But that being said, I mean, there's a lot of stuff out there, but do your homework before you buy something and buy the right part and buy it once. That's the take here. And that's the lesson I've learned from this.
Yeah. So the reason that's on their shelf is because that same part fits probably 7 or 8 or 12 different applications. And so, well, it kind of works, sell it, from that side.
Oh yes. This will work. This will bolt on to this particular part number. So put this in the catalog too, that it'll fit this car. Yeah. Just as long as it bolts on and goes, it's okay. It's kind of like brake parts too. It's the same way.
Put Motocrafts on from now on.
Yeah, I get it. 100%. So, well, anyway, Jordan, we're going to. I'm not sure who all I'm going to get in this group, but I'm going to get a group together because it's time for a nickname and show pony.
Like a focus group?
Yeah, something like that. Yes. You know, because I'm thinking maybe show pony. That's you named yourself the show pony.
No, I didn't name myself that. I said to you, Phil, I feel like a show pony, and you said that's your new nickname. That's how it went down.
So we're gonna get this
dressed all nice and fancy.
We're gonna get this,
and everyone was telling me how sharp I looked.
Mm-hmm.
And
that's
it.
it.
When I said to you,
Yeah, we had when
Phil,
you rolled
I
it.
feel like a show pony.
When we rolled you in here, when you rolled in here that day, you cleaned up a little better than you always have there. I can tell you that. Show pony.
Yeah, and
I think you did that.
Yeah.
I think you brought that name up yourself.
I said I felt like a show pony because I did. I did feel like a show pony.
I get it. But we're going to, Jordan, we're gonna get this focus group together. And I already got a list of names I'm thinking about putting in that focus group too.
All right. Well, looks good. I mean, obviously you're talking about me, so that's got to be a good thing. So let's do that.
Yeah.
So, all right. You guys have a wonderful Saturday.
You too, Jordan. Thanks for the call, and we'll talk to you soon, buddy.
Bye.
Bye. All right, 316-462-3673. Had some great callers here this morning. Love to hear from you. Anything ailing your car, tires, brakes, batteries, whatever it might be. 316-462-3673. That number comes right to our front desk. Let them know that you want to be patched into the podcast, and they'll text us up, and we'll get you on the show and get you this great price package. About over $130 for each and every caller. Okay, Josh. See, we talked about the Lightning, talked about the Bronco still here, the Maverick. The Bronco Raptor, our first one, is getting built pretty quick, so it'll be exciting to have that here too, from that part. And
had a new Expedition here the other day. You know, those things. They've revamped those a little bit on the interior side of them, and kind of matched the new pickups. Yep. As well. So hadn't really they kind of come in and go right back out. So I hadn't really had a whole lot of chance to.
Yeah, the Expeditions, I think we've now had 4 for the year. And the longest one I think sat here 4 hours.
Yeah.
It's all the longer it sat here and stuff like that too. And it's kind of crazy right now. Most everything that's rolling in off the truck is sold. Like yesterday, we got 5 in, and 4 of the 5 were sold already for that part. So I'm just telling you that if you're interested in something, most of the order banks are closed to even order right now. But I did get a new list of things coming up real quickly. The Transit van has been opened up for 23. F-150 is coming right around the corner. And that's where they don't have that list in front of me to go through all the dates and everything else too from that part, but they're coming. Anyway, good morning, James Furman. Hey, Rex, got back on again this morning. How you doing, buddy? So anyway, there's a lot of things happening there. The other thing is I'm still waiting. I haven't got confirmation. I keep seeing all these spy shots of the Raptor R, which is going to put that GT500 motor in. It's not quite as many horsepower as a GT500, what I'm being told, but who knows? I'm not sure when we're going to get them, how many we're going to get. I'm sure it's going to be a limited number of those things. But Josh, they finally announced the name of the Raptor R.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And?
Well, somebody did something before to try to, the Raptor's kind of been the king of that market, of that type of market.
Yeah.
Someone came to market with a dinosaur.
Oh, there you go. Yep. With
the Raptor in its mouth. Well, Ford's decided, you know what, we're coming out with the Raptor R, and it's the coronavirus. It's going to eat the dinosaur, and it is going to eat that dinosaur up. So, when you get cocky and you put yourself out there like that, you better be ready to be bit. And they're going to get bit. So I hope the thing comes here pretty quick and stuff like that too. I was still just telling everybody that I didn't think the Raptor R was ever going to happen because I was hearing nothing about it whatsoever. Yeah. I do think it's coming. I think it's going to be a very, very limited production truck from that standpoint, because heck, I can't even get the Raptors I need for the sold orders I got out there right now too. So I can't get the F-150s that we've got for sold orders from that standpoint. So I think it's going to be a very, very limited production truck. I do think it's probably is going to be a 22, the first one, or 2 or 3, whatever we do get. Yeah, I do right now at this point. But again, we'll try to see what happens on that standpoint too from that part. So anyway, the first Bronco Raptor, I've asked the guy if he would let me leave it here with us where we could show it off a little bit. Not sure that's going to happen, and I get that. If I had one, I probably wouldn't want to show it off either. So different things saying Anyway, Delbert Art tried to order a Motorcraft air filter from O'Reilly's, came back 3 days later saying it's not available. What's happening there, Delbert, is with the supply chain and all that kind of stuff, these aftermarket parts houses, Ford's and GM and AC Delco, they're not supplying those parts houses with those, man, because they need to get them to the dealerships where the real parts are being sold. And from that part too. So I get it. But you know what? Me working at a Ford store, I don't want those Motorcraft parts being sold at an O'Reilly's. I just don't think it's good. So anyway,
yeah, they're gonna take care of the dealers first with their stock from that side of things. So, and my other thing is, let's we can kind of talk about that, I guess, for a little bit. Is that right now with the volume that we do, you got somebody playing with stuff over here, so. With the volume of,
screwed up?
I bet we're still on. Just have them. We're on live. I know that for a fact. But see if they can see the
Okay,
camera.
someone was messing with the connection on the computer, and all of a sudden our screen went blank. So
just text us and see.
can everybody still see us on Facebook? Of course, I guess I can get on here and.
But anyways, the where I was headed with this is with the volume that we purchase on our oil and our filter and things like that. You can come in, walk into our parts department and pay less for an air filter or a wiper blade or oil and filter than you would if you went down to a parts house and got it locally. Which is crazy. Says we can hear you, but the screen's frozen. So let's see. Well, it's going to be this one here.
Way to go, Josh. I can't believe you did that.
But yeah, from that side of it, everybody always has the misconception that the dealer is way more, and that's not the case by any means.
Yeah.
So there we go. Now let's flip back to that and see what.
There we go. I can't believe you just messed with those connections, Josh.
Okay, so
it wasn't Josh, it was me.
I'm tying his hands behind his back, but I think we're back live now. But yeah, everybody always has a misconception that the dealer is so much more expensive, but you take like Jordan's situation where he bought a couple different coils and put on there, and not to mention the headache, the time, the labor to go through and change that stuff, as opposed to just doing it right the first time and being done with it. So are there going to be situations or scenarios where, it's a little more expensive initially, but long term, if you're putting a better product on and it's going to last longer, what's I don't know. Everybody wants to look at dollars spent right then, as opposed to
long term.
Yeah, the value of it. So
long term. Now here I will go back though, Josh. I will tell you though, back when I was running the parts house in Halstead for my good old buddy Don Davison, it taught me a lot in the parts business and everything else too. At that time, back in the 80s, the aftermarket was out there building sometimes a better part to put on your car. Today, my opinion is the aftermarket world is out there to get that customer to spend a cheaper dollar.
So that, and also when they're manufacturing a part, if they can modify it a little bit one way or the other and fit multiple things and not have to carry as many parts on a shelf,
they're going to do it.
They're going to do it.
Yes.
Yes. And when the manufacturer builds a part, they have specifications that they have to meet, especially brake parts.
Yeah.
When it comes to that, they've got certain criteria, stopping distances and a lot of
that they have to meet that the aftermarket world does not have to meet. And I don't know about you, but I sure don't want to have a brake part on my car that hasn't been through the testing and everything else like that I'm going to trust my family in being stopped.
Will it work in day-to-day operations? Certainly.
But in a panic situation, I sure want that chance.
When you really need it, does it work? No. Like that's the...
And I got a couple questions coming through on the chat side, and Dustin Frenia, any idea what's going on with our electric folding running boards? I have a 21 Expedition, and the driver's side has a mind of its own. I've cleaned the debris from the motor and portion it and helped for a little bit, but still acts up. Ford have an answer for this. What I'm hearing, it's happening often with these electric boards. First thing is, Josh, quote me if I'm wrong here, whatever, but isn't there a special lubricant that Ford has to lubricate those hinge pins on those boards? to make them work correctly and stuff, because you can't just use any old silicone or WD-40 or whatever, because that just collects more debris. So
Yeah.
isn't there a special lubricant that Ford's come up with to put on that?
So definitely, you know, a lot of people think lubrication, they think WD-40, they think you know, a penetrating oil, things like that. But in those locations, that is the absolute worst place to use any type of oil-based lubricant, because all that, it works great initially, but all it does is put more dust and contaminants and stuff in that hinge long term, because that oil is, you know, just attracts that stuff. And with it being the location of it down there, I mean, it's right behind the tires, right behind the fender wells, and you're kicking up dust, you're kicking up road debris and grime, and, you know, rainwater with dirt in it, and things like that, and basically injecting it right into the hinges. And so there is a technical service bulletin out for clean the hinge portion of that, to clean that very thorough. There's a couple of approved lubrications for that. A lot of them are like a graphite type lubrication, so it's a dry, non-oily lubricant that they're using in them. You know, in doing that, so the main reason that board will come up and then turn around and go right back down, or vice versa, come out and, you know, maybe not go all the way up and turn around and go right back up, is there's limits on those motors. And basically anytime that it sees any type of resistance, it stops operating it and runs it back the other way. Well, it's basically self-preservation on that motor. So it's wanting to not burn up the motor, or not break the motor by doing that. And you know, if you live on a dirt road, or have a lot of road grime and debris, those hinges get dirty, you know, and that's not really the board's fault. It's not really the motor's fault. It's an outside source that's done that, and it's just a matter of keeping them lubricated properly and clean, you know, from that side, to make them operate the best.
So anyway, Dustin, I know that how you take care of your vehicles and stuff like that too, but if you want to get some of that lubricant and do it yourself, if you want to bring that expedition up to us, we'll gladly help you with some of that and fix that board and take care of it for you. So anyway, Rex Drigo having trouble getting certain motor oils like Rotella. I mean, I don't know how we're doing, but I think we're doing okay so far. Ford's done a good job of keeping our oils coming to us and all that kind of thing. I know BG has been fighting a few different chemicals, things they can't get with the supply chain, but they still are keeping a demand pretty good with the demand they have to keep things going. But I don't know, Josh, what are you seeing?
Yeah, so you know, this was really the first time I want to say here about maybe a month ago that our supplier of Motorcraft oil came to us and said, you know, hey, we've got a span here of about 4 months, and I'm going to say we're probably 2 months into this 4-month deal, where they were actually limited to the volume of oil that they could take. Now, with the volume that we do, we're a very large customer of theirs, and so he says, you know, hey, I'm going to ensure that you're taken care of from that side of it. And I don't believe it's going to be an issue. But what I've seen out of all of the supply, the one that was really the I'd say closest to the one that made me feel closest of uncomfortable would be diesel oil from that side of it. But, you know, like I said, we've been working with our supplier to ensure that we're able to maintain and do, because the last thing I want to do is have to change brands or you know, put a lesser product in for our customers. But, you know, so far, and this is something that's been going on, and you hear say about it a lot. You know, I can think of a lot of things previously that you hear a lot of low product or low stock. One of the things was DEF fluid. You know, I've heard that quite a while back, and then, you know, looked into it, and I mean, there's no shortage on DEF fluid from that side.
I've heard the same thing. So, I heard a deal. I was listening to the radio the day, and they were talking about the trains, which is that's kind of what we're fighting with some of these F-150s, getting them out of Dearborn. They're saying there's a rail car shortage, But I heard a deal on the radio. Josh was talking about DEF fluid that's coming out of, don't quote me again, I think it was China. But the rail car companies have said we can only haul so much, and that's it because of what we've got going on and everything else too. So, I don't know what you believe in the news today, what's true, what's accurate, who you trust, who you don't trust, who's stretching the truth, who's doing what. You see different advertisements on Facebook and everywhere else, and you got to be careful. I think what you look at and what you believe and everything else too. But I think where we're at in this world is we're stocking enough to get us by. We don't have a whole bunch of stock still sitting on the shelf. It's kind of like our new car inventory. Don't have any.
Well, and I think too, the other side of it as a consumer is if more people had the mindset of buy what you need instead of buying in bulk because you think there's a shortage, that obviously doesn't help a situation if they're low on something and then everybody rushes out and buys a bunch more of it. And, right, wrong, or any different, there may be some of that happening on the sales side or manufacturing side, is that, hey, this is in low supply, you better get two instead of just one, which I hate to even think of it on that side of things, but I'm sure it's happening.
I'm sure it is. Yeah, I'm sure it is there too.
You want to sell more product, tell everybody you're out of it, I guess.
Yeah, and that's just it. I mean, I want to get everybody their vehicles they've got ordered. I want to get them. And, the other day says, you represent Ford. Yeah, I do, but I can't control what Ford does. I can't control what Ford's suppliers go get for them and give them enough parts to build their trucks. Or build their cars or their SUVs, whatever it is that they're trying to build. And, I keep seeing all the different bulletins come from Ford where these manufacturers, these suppliers just can't supply what Ford needs. So, it's one of those deals. I think it's like I told this gentleman the other day. I said, you must not understand what's going on in the supply chain world right now. This is not fun for anybody from that standpoint. And, it's going to be a new norm for a while as we move forward in the supply chain to get it all ramped back up again and get going. It's going to take a little bit of time. Everybody's got to be patient, understand you're going to be a little bit of a wait for certain items and certain things and stuff like that too. So anyway, Josh, been a great morning. Great calls, everybody. Lots of watchers and listeners. Good questions coming across on the chat line. So, hey, everybody, this is a great show. It's a call-in show. We love to take your calls and everything else, too. Love the things that are happening on that stand of the point. That's what this show is all about, is to help you understand your car better, understand what's going on in the automobile world better. And like I said, to get it on the news, who you can trust, whatever. I promise you, everything we're coming out of our mouths, you can trust and know that it's truth and factual. And we're here to help you maintain your car, take care of your car, do what we can to get us through this rough and tough old time we're in this old world with the supply chain, anything else. And you know what? We'll wake up someday and it's finally going to be over. But who knows when that will be. So, hey, real quick, we need to thank our three sponsors to help us.
Let's do the Beat the Heat.
Week.
Beat a reminder of that.
Reminder one more time. Beat the Heat, second annual Beat the Heat next Friday at Kansas International Dragway, Wichita PD. The sheriff's department's going to be there. We're trying to get the highway patrol there. We have sent emails out to all the local police departments inviting them to come. So maybe they'll just show up. If you don't want to race, just bring your cars out and interact with everybody. It was a great time last year. So we're going to have a lot more fun. Lieutenant Officer Cruz is going to have a little surprise up his sleeve because he doesn't want to get beat. He got beat pretty bad last year. And he doesn't want to have that happen. So next Friday, Beat the Heat out of Kansas International Dragway. We'll be out there with our bells on to help everybody have fun. No one knows how to throw a party like we do and an event like we do, and you don't want to miss it. You want to join up and get signed up because there's all kinds of prizes and everything else too to help have some fun and everything else out there at Kansas International Dragway next Friday. Gates open at 6, races starting at 7, and let's see who can beat the heat.
There we go.
And everything else too. So anyway, real quick, our sponsors, Big Corner Carady, for all your advertising needs. Not just a advertising company, it's a complete full advertising company to help your company do a web page, Google design, Google advertising, any kind of thing you need to advertise your business, vehicle wraps, anything you need there too, race car wraps, window tint. As they say, just Google us. BG Products, all the great preventative maintenance products we use right inside here at Mel Hambelton Ford. Again, I started using these products back in 1987. Yeah, they're on my race car because we have a great partnership with those guys. We give them vehicles to do all kinds of things to test and keep their products up to date. And we sell their products in and out of here because they are good products and they do great things for your car. Hey, don't forget it's summertime. You're needing a rental car or something like that. Our rental fleet is a little tight this year because of the supply chain, but we do have plenty of 12 and 15 passenger vans. Give Stan a call right inside here at Mel Hambelton Ford. Everybody have a great Saturday, and we'll talk to you next Saturday.